If you are parenting a teen and it feels like their emotions suddenly have gotten bigger and louder and harder to manage, you are not imagining things and you are not alone. My name is Sha Wortman and I'm an LPC at Sparrow Counseling. I work with older children, teens, and families. And one thing that parents tell me quite often is that they are shocked by the intensity of their child's emotions and their reactions. And one moment things might be going great, and in the next there's tears or there's anger, or sometimes there's even complete shutdown. And it's definitely confusing. It can be a little bit scary, and certainly it is exhausting. One of the most important things to remember is that throughout adolescence, kids' emotions, big emotions, are very real, and their brains are still learning how to regulate those emotions. It is not always an indication that something is wrong, and certainly not one that you are doing something wrong. So what do we do? First of all, we want to try to focus on calming before problem solving. Often when emotions are big, logic and problem solving usually don't land. I mean, think about it. Even as adults, when we're running high on emotion, it's really difficult to bring ourselves down right then to figure out the answer to the problem. So what does this look like with your child or your teen? Sometimes it can be just sitting quietly with them and listening. Sometimes it's reassuring them, wow, this sounds like it's really difficult for you. And they may need to borrow your calm. So allow them to do that in those moments. That creates a connection that will lead to regulation. Secondly, you want to help them to start to try to name their feelings. In this stage, they're still building an emotional vocabulary, and they may not just have the right word to explain exactly what it is they're feeling. So as you're listening, help them put words to it. Wow, it sounds like you were embarrassed, or you're really frustrated. That can help them to identify it and actually reduce the intensity of those feelings in the moment, and again, lead toward better connection. Something else that could be helpful is to look at patterns and not just moments. And what I mean by that is, instead of focusing on an individual outburst, it might be helpful to take a step back and see if you recognize any patterns. Is this happening around school-related stress? Is it fatigue? Is it social pressure that your child may be under? Understanding the why that could be behind the behavior is a really great way to open that door to more understanding and more compassion for your team, but also for yourself as you manage it. Sometimes, even with immense patience and all the love in the world and really good tools, this can still feel very overwhelming, both for students and for their parents. It doesn't mean that you failed. It could just mean that you need a little extra support. Therapy is often a really safe space for kids to learn how to name their emotions and build their emotional regulation skill sets. It can also help for parents to feel a little less alone and to build your confidence as you navigate this stage. So if you're noticing that these big feelings are having a big impact, then sometimes reaching out for support is the first caring step that you can take. You really don't have to figure this out on your own.